Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Astroneer with your friend Kuros Paladin. Thank you for joining me. And here we are, back on Silva. Full disclosure, it has been close to 2 months since I recorded the prior episode. I went in, I was so eager to just keep going, and I did 10 episodes. And then real life got in the way, theater got in the way, but here I am. I'm back. So I sort of have an idea of what I was doing in the last episode. I know I had just come back from Calidor, putting the logistics depot over there, and I was talking about Main Street, whether or not I'm going to actually do Main Street, because that is a very ambitious project. I love the idea. I don't know if I have the execution skills, but I think I'm going to give it a whirl anyhow. And even though the logistics depot doesn't look like the train station at Disney World, I don't care. The idea is to mimic the layout, and not necessarily how it looks. So the logistics depot will be the train station on Main Street. I don't know what Tony's would be. I don't know what the fire station and City Hall would be, but these types of things going on. Um, so what I should do is revisit the future site of this and start preparing. Well, actually, I did do that already. So I spent about 20 minutes going over and just looking and making more decisions about what's really going to happen over there. So the landing pad, the abandoned landing pad, will sort of act as a, let's say, um, uh, conceptual or a concept of the transport and ticket center. If you're familiar with Disney World, Magic Kingdom, when you get there, you don't just park next to Magic Kingdom, you park next to the TTC. And then you take a monorail around the Seven Seas Lagoon to get to the Magic Kingdom. Now, I'm not going to have a monorail going around a lagoon, but the landing pad is where I'm going to put the rail station that leads from here. So it's going to be one of the ones you build, the smaller ones. Then the actual logistics depot itself will act as the monorail station at the TTC. But since you can only have one of them, I won't have the three lines that come into there because you've got the local resort monorail, you've got the Express Magic Kingdom monorail, and then you have the Epcot monorail. I can't have all three of those, but I'll have whatchamacallit, the Express Magic Kingdom one. I might, for fun, have a small loop that goes around and then gets you to the Magic Kingdom. Um, but I'm sorry, I take that back. The logistics depot is not going to be the monorail. It's going to be the train station. So I take it all back. I got my geography all wrong there. So I won't have a loop. Sorry. Oh, it's been a long day. Okay. So you'll arrive to the quote TTC by rail or road, whatever it is, and then you'll hoof it over to the uh, logistics depot, which will be the Main Street train station, and like the Magic Kingdom, that will be elevated. The rail will be high up, and then you'll enter. There'll be a berm under it, and then you'll enter on either side. You'll go into the square. I will have a square there. I don't know if I'll have a flag with a little flower area, the little plaza there in the middle. And then line Main Street with whatever platforms and such. And then as far as the hub and Cinderella Castle, I have no idea how I'd pull that off. I do not have the skills to manipulate terrain to make something look like Cinderella Castle, nor to make it look like Main Street USA. Believe me, I would love to do that. Like I said, it's going to just be laid out similar to it. And then, the logistics depot will just have a rail line that just goes around the Magic Kingdom. There will be a switch off to the side that connects it to the rest of the rail network and such. But that's the idea. It's going to take a lot of time. I don't know how much of that I'll do on camera because it'll be very boring. And me talking about this right now with you just staring at my little guy is probably pretty boring too. So what I would like to do, now that I've made those decisions, is actually start preparing. I like how he's lit right now. That looks really good. Am I, yeah, pretty much facing directly into the sun. Okay. So what I would like to do is just catch up with the missions. Oh, and yeah, I reviewed the footage. If you remember that bit about the, thruster. Yeah, it just sucked it from this storage and just put it down there. I don't know what happened with the used thruster. I've never seen that happen before, but it did. So anyhow, okay, so I just want to catch up on this mission. We are not going to do bait and switch because that's another storyline that I don't want to get started on right now. Just the facts. So I just finished, whoops, come on, there we go, just the facts, that's what I just finished. So 6 scrap and logbook, 2,000 bytes, excellent. So gonna grab those 2,000 bytes, and then as far as the 6 scrap, I'm gonna move this out of the way, because I just don't trust when things come landing on top of the shuttle. I always laugh at how it just like, there's your damn scrap, how it just kind of lands. But anyhow, okay. Get these out of the way. Get out of the way, put this back. Okay. And now just set these down over here, I guess, so they're out of the way, but they're not going to get lost. Do I even have a trade? Oh, there it is right there. Oh, that's the request platform. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's the 6th one. Okay. I think I did that accidentally, the request platform. The trade platform might be nice coming up here pretty soon. But anyhow, so what I need to start getting ready over there is I'm going to need rail. I'm going to need train stations. I'm going to need alignment mod. I'm going to need terrain analyzers. I'm going to need those. The terrain analyzer and alignment mod just to prepare the site, as it were. And then a lot of soil, because of course if I'm building this berm that the rail station is going to be on, then obviously I am going to need thinking is hard. I'm going to need a lot of soil to put that on. And I have to also make a decision. Am I going to make it like Real World Disney where there is an actual berm all the way around the whole park and that's what the rail sits on top of? Or am I just going to have elevated rail that goes around? I don't know. First, I have to figure out how things are laid out. So, form follows function. So, when it comes to all of those things I just listed off, rail station... I have 23,000 bytes. I should have enough bytes to actually do all of this. Titanium, copper, quartz, I can definitely get those. The rail are resin and aluminum, definitely can get those. The terrain analyzer is zinc. The terrain, or the alignment mod is zinc, can definitely get those. So... I should have enough bytes to do all of this. I'm going to hold off on the rail station for the moment. We're going to go back to here. And I already have the rail posts unlocked. I am going to unlock the tall one because I may need them. And then as far as... Oh, that's the walkway. That's right. As far as the analyzers, I always... Oh, those are in the backpack. Oh, I have the alignment mod. Okay, maybe I already unlocked that? I guess I did. And then the terrain analyzer is... Was it back up here? This is the one that I always forget where it's at. Where is the terrain analyzer? Oh, there it is right there. Okay. 2,000 bytes. Well, that's the 2,000 that I just got from the mission complete. So, all right. So, let's get the terrain analyzer, or at a minimum, I'm sorry, the alignment mod going. I didn't already make one, did I? I have it unlocked. Did I already unlock or build / print one? I didn't. Oh, let's get this brewing. No reason to leave that there. Oh, and I did bring this back. When I went over there, I found it at that site, and I brought it back. So, nope, I don't see one. Let me verify it's not over here. Oh, yeah, okay. There we go, okay. So I just saved myself the zinc. But I do want... I am going to need a lot of terrain analyzers, because I'm going to need a lot of colors. But I can always paint after I've made the terrain the way I want it to be. I'm also going to just drop off all of this ammonium because I don't need to be carrying it around. There we go. All right. Okay. So, other thing that I need to do is actually get a road over there because it's quite treacherous getting over there. There's a lot of crevasses that I have to cross over to get there. And then the rail line from here will be a lot easier. That can just go right over the crevasses and such. But obviously the rovers can't do that. So, okay. So, I don't have any... Oh, I have one resin sitting there. Do I have any more resin? I have a resin here as well. So I kind of would like to... Well, when I do rails, I'm very meticulous with my rails. That will be very boring to watch because it will take me, 10 minutes to, or 10, 15 minutes to put down 10 rail posts because I don't just plunk them down. I make certain that the rail is level, that there's very little grade change. And that's where the alignment mod comes in. So, here, my rail station, the, what you would call is off. I want to head off this way. And then, as you can see, the purple there, it's a slight dog leg to the right there. But if I were to go that way, I'd have to go around that mountain, and I don't want to do that. This is the best way to go. So the rail station itself here. So imagining like this is where the little, my little Astroneer lives in this little shelter. I don't want it to back up right to the shelter. So I'm going to put it over here, I think. Kind of over here, this area. We'll have to get rid of this debris here. I don't like that you select the item now. You used to be able to just go right under it, but anyhow. So this is where the small rail station that you can print will end up. I'll shred that when I get the extra large shredder. So it'll be here. Hopefully I can get it to fit between this resin and this little, grassy area here. Because I do like to respect the terrain. I like to leave the terrain as much unmodified as it was. Or as it is, I should say. And then we're going to have a rail going off this way. So, let's head over to the other site. I have my alignment mod. I was thinking about doing rails right now. I'm not going to. I'm just going to start preparing that site. And then I'll go through the preparations, but I am going to do a lot off camera. This might be really boring to watch because it is going to be just a lot of me fiddling with terrain, putting things down, painting, but I will certainly do my best to include some of what I'm doing so you can see how it's coming along and how I did it all. Let's pick that up. There we go. And then I have to stick to the right here because there's a giant crevasse over there, so if I stick to the right, I can get around it. Yeah, when I do rails, I'm just going to go right over that crevasse there. If I can. Because there are neat little ways you can cheat. Rail posts, once you put them down, you can remove the terrain underneath them and they'll stay in place. So you can actually have a rail bridge. It doesn't... the rail post will just be hovering, so... Or I could build a column of terrain underneath so that it doesn't look like it's just hovering. So, all right, so this is where I'm going to have the other train station come up to here somewhere. And then, you know, like the landing pad can be another form of arrival that you're coming in by shuttle. So, and then I'll have a road as well. So you come in by road. So all three of them, all three forms of transportation will be here. And then it'll just be this is where I have to decide if I would go and have a monorail loop, as it were, go around and just come over to another station. Thematically, that would work great, but it would be, you know, it is kind of silly because it would only be taking you this far, probably. I wouldn't go too far with it. But it would be thematic, and I could maybe even I have built, quote, lakes before in the game, and I could put a small lagoon in there. And then right about here, maybe just past this research here, right about here is where the berm can be with the rail station on top of it. And I don't really care if it's with the cardinal points or not. It could be. That means I would probably... I don't want to get too close to that, though. But then again, the TTC is slightly to the east of the Magic Kingdom. So... and I don't want to suffocate. I should probably have brought the rover out here. So right about here, where that research is... This is where I'm going to have the rail station. It's going to be elevated about, let's say, 3 Astroneers high, 3 or 4 Astroneers up. Let's go top off on the O2. And build that out. It'll be very rough at first because I can't remember if the rail station puts terrain underneath itself when you build it or not. I don't remember if it does that. You know, like when you build a shelter and it puts that terrain underneath. I don't remember if the logistics depot does that. I just built 2 of them and I should know. But and then you'll go under the berm and then right around here where these rocks are. It's a shame that I will be getting rid of all this. But right about here is where the, if you know the flagpole, where they have a veteran every day, they take the flag down at 5 o'clock and they give the flag to a veteran of the day. So there's that. And then like over here would be Tony's. Over here on this side would be City Hall and the fire station. I think the barber shop is over here. I think there's restrooms on this side. I can't remember what's over here. And then you go down. Actually, you know what? Hey, this could be Cinderella Castle. It just occurred to me, this could be Cinderella Castle. That isn't the North Pole, but it could be Cinderella Castle. That actually kind of works. It didn't occur to me till just now. That could very well be Cinderella Castle. It means I move things over a bit. I'll be a little closer to these hills than I was thinking. But yeah. And then if I really got ambitious, but this is totally pie in the sky, blue sky stuff, the contemporary, the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian, right? Those would be all around the Seven Seas Lagoon. So that's the idea, the layout. But what do I have to do to start? Well, we got to clean up this area. Now, I don't have the extra large shredder yet, and I probably won't have it for a while because of what it requires. Steel. I need argon for steel, and I don't think I have any because I don't have a atmospheric condenser yet. Tungsten carbide shouldn't be a problem. That's just tungsten and carbon, and I have both of those. But it would get rid of most of this. This can't be shredded. It has to be blown up, and this can't be shredded. It has to be blown up as well. But the rest of this could be shredded. For right now, it can live here in a like a pile of junk. And then the next thing, even though I did think about this, I didn't make a decision. Where is the rail going to go? Where is the road going to go? Do I want it to be the space station, the platform, then the rail, then the road? That kind of also gives me this nice diminishing height thing, because the rail station is about as tall as like right about here, I think. So I've actually tucked them underneath these before, and they fit very nice right under there. But I don't think it'll work because it would be a little bit off. But there's nothing I can do. This is off anyhow. So I think I just made my decision. It's going to be this. And then it's going to be the rail station. And then the road will be here. And for the road, I'm going to need the paver and a drill. I can just use a strength 1 drill for this. But I usually skip the strength 1 because you use it and then you never need it because it becomes obsolete with the strength, the strength 3. So that's the plan. How much of this am I going to do on camera? I'm probably, as I said, going to lay the rail. I'm going to build the road off camera. But putting the rail station down, which will be first, I will do on camera. And it will be at grade, if you've seen me do that before. So that means I had to dig down a little bit and then put it there, make certain it's aligned properly, get the two rails leading off of it. And then as they get maybe 1 or 2 rail posts away, I will then raise them and have them above ground where it's just the rail post and you see the rail post. Now, one thing I also going to do is there will be a main line. So there will be the station here. There will be a rail line here that does not go through the station. It goes behind the station. And then the station will be right here. And it will be on a siding. Because I always like to have my stations on a siding. Even though I play alone, conceptually, to me, it makes sense that it is on a siding. That way, through trains are not interfering with the station and any traffic or train that is in the station. So Um, that I will show on camera as I put the station and its siding down here. And that will probably be an entire episode. And that might be the next episode. So what I will do is I will head back to the main uh, residence, I guess you could call it. If I can remember where it's at. It is this way. Okay. If I remember, that other beacon is where I had, I think there was an ammonium deposit there that I wanted to put an auto extractor on at some point. Now, this does not mean I am doing this and then nothing else. I will be doing other stuff. I need to gather a lot of resources. And I also want to build my production base as well. That's where all the printing and everything. And there will definitely be a rail station there because that's how everything is going to get from, or I should say to the construction site is by rail. And if it is too large, then it will go on a rover. So I'm going to have to build that rail. It will come through here, and then it will go to that other landing pad. That is where the production will be. So this other base that I'm building that is mimicking Main Street will not be a production base. It will have production facilities and such in it, platforms with the various items on them. It could be a functional production base, but that isn't its purpose. The other one, if I can actually get there, which I think is that black one, I really should have made it a different color than black. Two of these are vehicle bays or whatever, and one of them is the other landing pad thing. And I should change its color so I remember that. But anyhow, so an episode of just planning. And this is not set in stone. It is very likely I could change my mind on a couple of things, but it just occurred to me now, why not make that gateway chamber Cinderella Castle? A stand-in for Cinderella Castle. And then I could have a little green hub in front of it. And I don't know what I could use for a partner statue. It'd be neat if we could have a little Astroneer figure, Astroneer-sized figure, as opposed to the little one you get from Megatech. So, but anyhow, all right. I'm probably actually going to start work on this before this video actually goes up. But let me know in the comments what you think, what ideas you might have. If you have a better idea, I am certainly open to other ideas, but I'm going to try this. It could be a total failure, but you know what? It's my failure, and I will own that failure. But it's only a failure if I'm not happy with it. There is no wrong way to play Astroneer. Anybody that tells you you're playing it wrong or doing it wrong, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, they're wrong. There is no wrong way to play this game. It is self-directed, open-ended. You do what you want to. That's my philosophy. And this Main Street is going to be a side project. Don't worry, we're going to progress down the rest of the tech tree. We're going to get the gastropods. We're going to go after the awakening stuff. We're going to do all of that as well. But this will be a side project that goes on. So I have spent a lot of time talking about that and didn't do a lot here except a lot of planning. So I'm eager to get started. everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids of all ages, I will see all of you in the next episode of Astroneer. Take care and bye.